week I have with me Sheffield resident and Mrs. South Africa semi-finalist, Buli Sihlali-Woolley. Buli, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Buli, you are a pastor and you are a Mrs. South Africa semi-finalist.
Yes.
What made you decide to sign up for Mrs. South Africa? I mean, what was the inspiration?
The inspiration behind it was my daughter. You know, Zoe said to me one day, Mummy, you've done so many things in Umtata and you've done so many things when you were in school. I've seen your awards and everything, but when you came into priesthood, it is as if, you know, everything that you were doing that was helping the community, you know, in a bigger scale, you just stopped, you know. Why don't you enter Mrs. SA? And I was like, Nini, you can't. I mean, being a pastor and pageantry don't collide together. Those things are different, you know. But when I prayed about it, and she always says to me when she gives me an idea and says, go pray about it. And I prayed about it and I said, okay, I will do it. Because for me, entering Mrs. SA, I wanted it to use it as a vehicle that will enhance whatever it is that I was doing in a small scale, but enhance it for a bigger community. Because now when I meet people and I say, yes, I'm a pastor, sometimes they say, I don't want to hear it, you know. But when I say, my name is Woolley, I'm a Mrs. SA semi-finalist, and I'm a pastor, and they said, oh, okay, now tell us, how does this thing come together? And then I get to create a conversation about it. And that's the whole point of me entering, to use the platform of Mrs. SA as a vehicle to enhance whatever it is that I've been doing for the community, you know, to use Mrs. SA to be that vehicle, to establish my purpose and what God is calling me to do, not just boxed in the church, but for a bigger community.
Yeah. I think that we need more people to look outside of the box. You know, why should you just be a pastor? Why can't you be more than that? And why can't you be an influencer in all different spheres of society? So what's the journey been like so far? I mean, tell me, how does the Mrs. SA competition work and how do you campaign, should I say?
The Mrs. SA, how it works is that it's an empowering program. A lot of people think it's a pageant. For me, it's building relationships, and I'm good with connecting with people. I've been meeting different women, you know, powerful women, women that are rooted in their faith, you know, that just when they hear that I'm a pastor and I'm Mrs. SA semi-finalist, and they say, well, how can we help you, Buli? And it has not been easy because I'm new, you know, in Sheffield, and I've been
When did you arrive?
I've arrived in January.
Okay.
In
so
January.
You are fresh.
Yes, and I don't know anyone from this side except for the people at the church, you know, and yeah, so the journey has been a little bit tough for me because I needed to kind of like expose myself to people, to know me as a Buli, not the Mrs. SA semi-finalist, but who Buli is and who Buli stands for and who Buli believes in, you know, and what Buli would love to achieve for the community. Because wherever I go as a pastor, I've always had this thing that I want to introduce myself in schools because I love working with schools. I love working with young people, you know, and that's the first thing that I come in a new environment, and that is what I do. So it has been challenging, you know, but I'm enjoying it, you know. Yeah, don't know if that answered you.
Now, the feeling I get with you specifically when I met you for the first time is that, you know, some people that join a beauty pageant and then they start a charity just because it fulfills the requirements. But with you, I feel like this is your passion, this is what you've been doing all along, and it just fits into Mrs. South Africa, really. I've heard about your, I think it's Born to Thrive, or...
Yeah.
Still She Rises?
Still She Rises,
Still She Rises.
Yes. Well, Still She Rises came to me in, I think it was 2005, you know, when God gave me the whole thing. And I had to wait, you know, and wait upon God to say that, you know what, now this needs to happen, because I'm in the church and I don't know if you know about the Anglican Church, but there's protocols, you know, there's hierarchy. You know, as a normal clergy, you can't just say that, oh my goodness, I'm waking up this morning and this is what I want to do. It has to go through the right channel sometimes, and you have to say that this is the vision that God has given me, and how do I actually go with that. So I've been working on that on the side, and really channeling myself in the communities that I've been ministering in. You know, I've been in Yugi, I've been in Umtata, I've been in Nzambani, and I've traveled also, you know, as a minister and a board member of Soma. So it has been, you know, something that when Mrs. S.A. came into the picture, I was already doing, you know, things for the community. I was already involved in that. You know, it just for me felt so right that I would use this platform, you know, for people to hear my voice, hear what I think, and not just when they see me and said, we're boxing her in religion. But no, it's not about that. For me, it's about the whole community, because I see the future, you know, having to come from the church, and the church pouring itself to the community so that they can build sustainable communities. And if as clergy and as pastors, we cannot do that, then who will do that, you know, because we can't just wait on the government to do everything. We also have to have a role. So I've been saying this, you know, for 8 years now, since I've been a priest for 8 years, and people will say, but you're going to have a difficult time, Buli. And I said, no, you start small, you know, and the fires will just lit up, and then everything will be ablaze, you know. Just start small and you'll see.
And so your NPO,
yes.
What is the vision for that?
The vision is to empower women. You know, the vision is to give them a voice. You know, it is not just empowering women, because I believe that I'm for young girls to be empowered, to find their voice, to find their identity, because I do believe that the world is really pushing different identities for them, you know, and they're not giving them the space to say, you know what, think about who you are. What do you want to achieve in life, you know? So the NPO and the sister-to-sister programs allows them to be in that space where they're given journals, you know, to write your dream, you know, write what you think hinders your dream at this particular point, and what is it that you think we can come in, you know, as the leaders, as whoever we want, as the mentors, what is it that we can help you with to reach that dream. That is the whole point of the NPO, is to raise young girls who will be leaders, you know, in our societies, because I come from an environment where young girls, it's not important to educate a young girl. I come from that environment. You know, it's better to educate a young man, because they're gonna be the head of the family one day. And I believe if we empower young girls, they will become empowered women.
Now, Buli, you yourself, you had a daughter, you were a single mom. You must have some idea what these girls are facing. What was it like for you? I mean, how does that make you connect with these young girls? I mean, being a single mom and having to, you know, you became a priest, you were unmarried. Can you tell me a little bit about that journey?
Oh, well, it does resonate with me, because I always put myself in their shoes, because I've been there. I got a baby out of wedlock, and the first thing my mother said to me, that I'm disowning you.
Sure.
I don't want anything to do with you. You're gonna figure it out on your own. I sent you to school and you decided to get pregnant. And that's when she shipped me off to the Transkei, you know. And when I got there, and she said, I'm not gonna buy any diapers for you. I'm not gonna do anything. You're gonna figure it out, and you will have to provide for this child. And I was 21 at that time, and that's when it dawned on me, you know, that this is reality. She was there, but she said, I want you to figure out what is it that you want with your life, because you know you have a calling, you know what God wants from you, but do you know that for yourself? And I want you to stop being rebellious, you know, well, I was rebellious. The honest truth is that, I was just saying that I don't want anything with ministry and all of those things. I'm just going to live my own life. But it came to a point where I needed to think about this little one now. It's not about me, it's about her. It's about how I make it the next day and how I have to pick up my life, and be the person that one day when she looks at me and says, Mommy, I am proud to be your daughter. So for me, when I see young girls, it really resonates with me that I want to walk alongside them and help them to realize their full potential. Because for me also, there were women that walked alongside of me. Because when I became even a priest in the Diocese of Umtata, I said at one time that it was a patriarchal diocese. But the way God shaped my life and the way He just spoke to the bishop at that time, the bishop said that, you know what, I want you to go to a place where it will grow you, a place that you will get support. It's like God was just there, putting me in places where there will be support for me, And I went to this small town called Yugi, in a small chapelry, and I met wonderful people and wonderful women that grew me and walked alongside me and prayed for me, It's just having to have one goal. What is your purpose? Why did you enter? Can you achieve your why? Can you use the platform that is Mrs. South Africa to achieve, your why and your purpose?
Well, we are rooting for you, Buli.
Thank you so much.
So we'll be following you to see how it goes, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you.